Hello, kids. Hope you all are fine in sound in health, keeping good and safe at home. So, in the previous class, we learned about political science, chapter standard 10, chapter 1. In that, we learned about the working of the constitutions, 5 objectives we learned, and I told you in the previous lecture like three focus we are giving in this chapter. That is, the first is democracy, the second is social justice, and the third is judiciary. Democracy we learned about first is political maturity, second we learned about right to vote, third we learned about decentralization of power, and the fourth it was going to start. And the fourth, in democracy, three concepts we are giving importance here. That is democracy, social justice, and judiciary. So in democracy, two more views were remaining, that rights were remaining, and that I am explaining now. That is, first we learned political maturity, second we learned right to vote, and the third we learned decentralization of power, and the fourth we are going to learn about right to information. This right to information came in the year 2005 year. That is known as RTI. 2005 year. Why? Citizens need to be given empowerment. They need to be given the power in the hand. Previously we learned about their quantitative and qualitative. Only giving them the power to select in the government, select the government representatives is of no use. They need to be given the power also. And once a government is been selected, once a party which gets a majority and the government is selected, what that government they are doing in the parliament, that should be viewed by the citizens. Clear. And again, not only that, we the citizens need to get the information about all the deeds and the works done by the government. That's why these rights were being given to the citizens. Citizens got the empowerment, that is, increased communications between citizens and the government. Always the communications must be there. More communications must be there between the citizens and the government. This will strengthen a country's democracy. And that's why in our country, the government of India gave the rights to the citizens. That is your right to information. And that is mentioned in our Indian constitution called as RTI, which came into force in 2005. According to right to information, our citizens in India, they come to know about, they can question, they'll come to know about what the government they are doing, and they are getting an surety that about transparency and accountability. Clear. So that I'm reading that one, that is very important. Information to citizens of India to ensure they got, because of this right to information, citizens got to ensure about this. The government, whatever they are doing should be transparent, and accountability. Transparent means that should be very clear. What they are doing, that should be clear. We must come to know exactly citizens. And accountability means the government must be answerable to our question. Why government must be answerable to our question? Because we the citizens selected them. We trusted, we had faith on them, that's why we selected them. And they formed the government because that party got the majority. That's why they are accountable to us, means they are answerable to us. So in your textbook, you need to underline the two things over there. Means whatever, because of the right to information, the citizens, they got the ensurety that whatever the government they are doing, that should be transparent, and they must be accountable to the citizens. And because of this right, this power, the citizens, they got it. Right to information made the government transparent. And because of this right to information, what happened? Whatever secrecy the government they were doing previously, because these rights were not there, now nothing has been there. Nothing is there. They can't do any secrecy. No governments can do any secrecy. Why? Because it is totally transparent to the citizen and they are accountable. If in case by mistake, if anybody goes against the constitution, then the citizens raise a voice. Why? Because these rights, the Indian citizens, they got it. And that's why they got the empowerment. This right gave them the power to question the government. And the government is answerable, as well as whatever they are doing, that is very clear to the citizens. So after 2000, many such rights were being incorporated in our Indian constitution, and citizens got these rights. And that's why democracy is become so strengthening, and it has become so powerful in our country. So democratic reforms means many changes came in democracy, and these democratic reforms are considered as the rights of the citizens today. So time and again, many more reforms came in democracy, and citizens got the power in that. Because of these reasons, what happened? We got much more right in our country, and as a result, we got many more rights. So citizens can't cheat. The government can't cheat the citizens in any way, because they are accountable as what they are. Whatever they are doing, that is transparent to us. So these rights strengthened our Indian democracy. Not only that, right here, right to information, we now learned it. Right to education came over there. Right to food and security too came. Means every citizens need to get education, and everybody should get the requirement of food. Understand, food, and as well as they need to get their security in life. Every citizens. So because of these rights, our life became strong in our democratic country and almost all democratic countries. And the next right is right-based approach. In the decades after independence, time and again, many progress were being done towards to make India a democratization. Democratization means what? More and more powers were being given to the citizens, and citizens were being benefited with these rights. Not the government, citizens got the benefit. And these, because of all these reforms in our democratic country, time and again, we got what? Empowerment. Because of this more empowerment which we got it in our country, because of these reasons, what happened? And these rights are benefited to the citizens. Citizens they were the beneficiaries in that. We can approach today, we can approach the government indirectly. Our problems are being heard by the government. Means at times any issues are happening, we can question the government. We are approachable. We can approach the government over there. We are benefited today in a democratic. So in a democratic country, only citizens get the benefits. No such countries. We can see many types of governments are there. In those governments and all, many, just like we learned monarchical system, we learned dictatorial system, understand, then democratic system, then we learn communist countries and all. These countries, than those countries, the citizens are benefited only in a democratic country, because time and again, more and more powers are given to citizens. Rights have been given to citizens. Because of these rights, what happened? They are getting benefited. Because citizens are benefited in a democratic country, that's why democracy is always successful. And that is a major reason in our country that democracy is getting strengthened. Why? Because we are getting time and again the empowerment. And these empowerment we got through our constitution. So the first concept, the first view which we learned over there, the first is democracy. The concept got over. Now we are going to start with social justice and equality. Second one is social justice and equality. I'll read it. Social justice and equality are also very important, or one of the important objectives, understand, of Indian constitution. Every citizens need to get in society justice, and they must be treated equally, and that is then only citizens can develop here. So to establish social justice and equality means we need to remove some injustice which is lying in our country. So to remove that injustice in society, then once we remove that injustice, means we are giving society justice and equality here. So the principle of justice and equality aim at, what is the aim? Underline, that is very important. What is the aim of social justice and equality? The aim of these principles, social justice and equality, understand, is to stop, it's to end, is to put an end to the discrimination, separation, divisions were being done in our country on the basis of caste, religion, language, gender, place of birth, etc. So this discrimination need to be removed out, and we need to give to them, to the citizens, irrespective of all this, gender, caste, creed, religion, language, place of birth. These areas were the places where the people were being discriminated. So once the people have been discriminated Indies name, then there is no equality, then there is no justice in society, then the country can't develop. Then we can't say that country is a democratic country. So if we want our country's democracy to be strengthened, the most important thing we need to give is, in society, all human beings need to get social justice and equality. So once we want to get social justice and equality, we need to put an end, we need to remove the discrimination, understand, on the bias in different sectors we are discriminating. That has to be removed, and treat everybody equally, and everybody must get justice, that is irrespective of all this discrimination. So to establish justice and equality, efforts were being made at all levels. In all levels, both the government efforts and the policies in front of, are more important. For democracy to be inclusive, one must try to bring all sections of society together. If we want democracy to be successful, then all the sections need to be brought together, that I told you previously. So when we are bringing everybody together in society and they're getting all benefits and justice they're getting, then we can make democracy success. For that reason, to bring social justice and equality in our Indian constitution, some reservation seats, policy of reservation seats are given. Still today that is going on. These reservation seats were being prepared in our Indian constitution by the makers of a constitution initially when we prepared our Indian constitution. Because when we prepared our Indian constitution, at that time India was totally down in everything. It means it was a new country, newly a democratic country. Many sections of people were being degraded and separated. Very few were rich, very few were educated, rest all were facing all sorts of difficulties. So to bring everybody in a same level, in a same sector, to treat everybody equally, these reservation seats were given to some people over there. Reservations in these policy were being brought to them. Clear. So policy of reservation of seats meant for those sections of society who were, which people they got reservation seats. Those people, those who were totally deprived, they were not getting the benefits, they were away from all these benefits. Those sections were being given these benefits. Accordingly, in education and employment opportunities, these reservation seats were being given. So the government, accordingly, in the educational institutions and government service, some seats were being reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBC. Scheduled caste, as you know it, previously they were called as untouchable. When we prepared our Indian constitution, these untouchables came to be called as scheduled caste, and the forest dwelling people came to be called as Adivasis previously. Now they are called as scheduled tribes. And rest people, those who are not coming in these scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, who have been treated as OBC, or the backward class. These were the sections of people who got reservation seats, especially in employment opportunities and getting education. So this policy of reservation of seats were being given to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and OBC when we prepared our Indian constitution, just to get what social justice and equality by giving them benefit towards education and employment. Because the people, the makers of constitution, they understood, if we want our country to be successful, democracy to be successful, every citizens must get education and everybody must get employment opportunities irrespective of all these things. That's why these sections were being given reservation. Up till today, these reservation seats are going on to these people. And that's why today, because of this reservation seats, our country's democracy is successful.